All right, guys, I appreciate you guys joining me. Let's talk a little bit about the market today. Then we'll, once we go through the market and kind of my game plan for options or crypto, then I'm gonna go into the ATAs and see how those the automated trading did. You can see yesterday we didn't really have a ton of news. That's why when there's not a lot of news coming in, when you see pump and dumps like that, it's just the market makers, trying to price in future news, that they're anticipating down the road. They're always going to try to continue to price in, right? So Tuesday is no different. Here, there's like a couple meetings in here, nothing that I don't think. The EEI may move a little bit, but it's nothing like FOMC or CPI or any of that stuff. So we'll just stick to the TA on that side of it. So let's open up the TA. So first I wanted to talk like I usually do about the SPX. So you can see on the SPX, we've just been kind of ranging since the fall. And then we had this falling wedge we talked about yesterday, which did break out. You can see almost immediately on the 1 hour we did get some bearish divergence where we have some lower highs here. You have lower equal highs, about equal highs. And then we did it again, right? This one's a little bit lower high, but it's definitely starting to show some pretty good bearish divergence. So I would suspect that we're going to have a little bit of a pullback, but we do have kind of an interesting inverse head and shoulder possibility here. This shoulder is not as good as I would like. So it may be invalidated. I would look for key levels around the 41.14. If we hold support above this, then we're likely to break back above this EMA here, which will push us up to retest this side here around the 41.89. If we stay below this EMA, so my anticipation, guys, if you're taking puts or calls, if you're below this 200, you probably don't want to take a call yet. You'd want this to flip kind of like it did here, right? So then you can take your call safely. As long as we stay below this, we could likely just come up, hit this, and then reject right back down. So just be safe on that. As far as the high for this, I see, we definitely could come up and retest here around 41.47. And I see us, reclaiming potentially this side here on our kind of up, over, down situation. So, somewhere in the, 4,096 area. We do have a trend line here that we have been following, so it would not surprise me even if we came down at some point to retest this 4,071 area. So that's kind of the range on the SPX that I see. I did highlight these. This is another chart we use for the SPX. You can see we are starting to show possible gap fill bullish, and that's where I think that the push north might come at first in market open, but I think ultimately we're going to go back down. So we are below that 200 like we talked about here, and I just kind of marked some points for my daily insight. This was the high that I seen, and we could see as low as our zone tracker, right, which is 40.60. But we have heavy resistance around 41.48. So if you start to see a double top or some kind of rejection candle, if we get back up there, that's definitely a good put. For me, I'm going to stay, my options plan, I'm going to stay put until we get it, if we can flip the 41.48. I will just take it off of these EMAs or off of here and ride that back down. But if we happen to actually flip this EMA and flip this 41.48, where it's been just crazy resistance, then I will take a call and ride that up to the next level. So that is my plan for there. Options on the SPY is going to be pretty much the same. 407 as low. I don't know that we'll hit that today without some news. And then 418 is obviously, or 417 or so is what I have as the high. Again, without news, I don't know that we'll hit that. So the Dixie, what we're watching, guys, this is really important. So you have a ton of resistance lines on this trend line. So this is a very viable trend line. Even when it broke here, it just collapsed. But on the bullish side, we do have a higher low here than this area here. And you can see each time that it has hit it, we've just exploded off of it, right? So we've just been forming this squeeze. So we could get another rejection here, come back down, create a higher low, something like if you take this line here, something like that, right? Create a higher low like that, and then come back up and then pop. But this is starting to show a lot of characteristics about just getting ready to pop north. Obviously, if that pops north, everything else comes down. So just this is the line to watch today. As far as the VIX goes, I don't think I covered that last time. We do have a lot of rejection coming, but it is holding support. You can see with higher lows here. And we are holding onto this 200 EMA on the 5 minute. It's still below it, right? But it's kind of flipping between. So a lot of times I like to go to the 1 hour. The 1 hour is one of my favorite to look at the 200 EMA. And you can see, gives you a little bit of a better picture, right? Because we have kind of a double bottom playing out, but it's also losing steam and it's below the 200. So VIX could get as high as 19 and as low as 16 today. So, and obviously for those who don't know, VIX goes up, market goes down, VIX goes down, market goes up. So keep an eye on that. Bitcoin. So I put this out in the room for Bitcoin on the 1 hour. We're beginning to form somewhat of like a ascending triangle, which is typically going to break north. So I see, plus, you kind of have like this lopsided double bottom. So a break north would market up and would not shock me. I really presumptuously drew this line. There's not even a second peak, but I just was giving the room some guidance on the fact that we can break an ascending triangle, come up and reject at what could be the beginning of a bear flag, right? Now, how would that look if you think about it, right? If you have your, oops, wrong one, path. All right, so if you have your fall, and then you have your pump, you have your pump, like this, right? Comes up and hits here. So right about here is going to be where this EMA will probably be. And that would come down, and then that would reject us down like that. Super presumptuous, guys, because I don't have anything quite yet to support that yet as far as my second peak. But I like to always plan ahead and kind of draw early. The just, straight up bullish scenario, this would be having it come like this. We have our double bottom. We break out north. We retest this line, which not only is the line of the ascending triangle, but it could be the line of the double bottom as well. And that would just propel us straight up. So I see the high getting today somewhere around 28.5, 28.6. And then our low, we just have so much support in here. I don't know that it's going to just shatter through this without news. So what I had to do is go back and look at a previous low, which was about here. So 26,942. So I would suspect that we would at least test that as our low. So that's kind of the range that I would play in if you're playing Bitcoin. Which we're kind of in the middle of the range for both those. So just play your charts, play your indicators. But I would be okay with both long and short as well for Bitcoin. You can see on our gap fill indicator, we are separating also by a lot on the bearish. So typically when this separation becomes too much, it creates a bullish gap fill, meaning we just need to come up and reclaim these gaps. So the theory of what I was saying would hold true, and it could be very possible in the early market open because it would claim these areas in here, and then that could fall because we still could create a lower high than this area. Or we could come up here, right, claim this one, not claim these, hit off of what was support, turning resistance, and then back down we go. So just everything in trading is and or if, right? So you want to always play the scenarios of, if this happens, then I'm going to do this. You can see our trend things turning blue. When the blue's on the top, it typically is a sign that we're getting a little more bullish. So, but overall, I see a potential of a bullish move with a bearish pattern, so which could reverse midday, so just be careful. Let's see, Ethereum. I didn't really do that in the guidance today. You can see Ethereum struggling. It couldn't break a higher high here, so that's what caused that little rejection. Again, the bears are winning by quite a bit, so a move to the north side wouldn't surprise me. But I'd like to see where, if we can create a higher high than this one and then pull back and create a higher low, then that will kind of give me that hope that we're kind of starting to round right on the bottom. And when we start to begin that round, that's when you get your down right over and then back up reclaim. So this white line was pretty significant. You can tell because when it broke it and it rejected it, it ended up dropping down pretty far. So would not surprise me if we didn't pump up to 1890 or so today before rejecting again. But we may not even make it that high, right? If we continue to create a pattern like this, right, which looks similar to here, right, where we had our fall again. So if we continue to create that pattern, then we just have another fall that's in store. So that's really what I have, guys. Not a ton. I mean, there's really not a lot of news. There's not to move the market, so each trade's going to take a little bit of time to play out. So let's look at the ATAs. We have Aave, ETH, LTC, Matic, and Sol. So we overextended a little bit. So let's see if that's been paying off. So we'll start out with Aave. We are running long and shorts. All right, so it looks like the long did 2 good longs, and then it did get stuck in this long, which is pretty much in profit. It's literally right there. You can see the pre-yellow line that we had is holding really well as support. So I'm sure we'll get one more push up here, just enough to get it out of profit. So long should be okay. So I'm not going to touch those. If you guys aren't running the long and you guys want to, I'm just doing Aave, Parabolic SARS, take profits there, 1 DCA, and then close your candle, and that's it. So shorts probably doing okay. Yep, shorts are killing it. 65 bucks in 8 days, doing really well. We're in a short right now, really close to the entry, so nothing to concern about. Let me think. So I'm 1, 2, 3, 4 shorts to 1, 2, 3, 4 longs. I think I'm gonna stop this Aave one once it gets out in profit on the short. So let me show you guys how to do that if you're following along. All you do is find this candle. We know that the time is 7:06. So May 9th is 7:06. So all I have to do, guys, super simple. Just come down here, don't change nothing. So I do have 2 DCAs. I don't want that. I only want 1. And then all I have to do is find this candle. So May 9th, 7:06. So 5, 9, 7:05. So you always do 1 minute back, because watch, this is going to flip, see, to a short, but then the close candle's there. The reason why you do that is because you close the candle before, so it flips to that. Now, what I want you to notice is if I uncheck close existing and I change it to enable existing, it's going to change that color. That way you know it's an enable existing. Why would I do an enable existing? Enable existing means once this gets out, it will no longer take any more trades. It's done. So once we have that set up, you guys seen how quickly I was able to set that up. Again, you just go in, you delete your alert, short, add alert. That's how I title everything, if you guys haven't caught on. All right, so I'm good. Why am I getting out of the short on Aave? Again, I put in the daily huddle. I think we have plenty of room to go down. But if you look at it, if we do decide to range in this range, right, we're kind of at the lower range. Could we go lower? Sure. But we haven't yet, right? It pumped up like crazy here. It's just it's in a very risky spot for me to take that short, so it's not worth it to me. I would rather we're in a range that I'm comfortable going a little more top heavy on the longs versus the shorts nowadays. So this one right here, actually, let me title it. If you ever mess up on the title, you can add it. A lot of times I forget. I like to do ATA Gambit Aave short and then put existing. The reason why is that tells me I need to delete that alert if it's in a trade. Always set up things the way you can remember it, right? Make it a little easier for yourself. All right, so we're gonna hit save on that, and we're done with Aave. All right, so let's look and see what do we got next. ETH. All right, so our ETH short looks to be stuck, but it has not even did DCA 1 yet, so we're good. We're not in bad shape. So yeah, shorts are looking okay. I'm gonna keep these short. As you guys know, I run ETH nonstop and just fight my way out of the ranges. I don't mind if it gets stuck a little bit. Long, we're probably still stuck in. Let's see if it DCA'd. No, because yeah, the DCA is down here, 1793, so we're good. So nothing to do with ETH. Let's keep it going. If you're not running ETH, you know, it's definitely a great time to start a long as well as a short on those. LTC. All right, let's go with LTC. Why is that? Load layout. There we go. So let's check out the longs first. So we are stuck in our long, but we did DCA. Remember we set that DCA too. So far it was a good call, right? We've retraced quite a bit on it. We got to get up to about 81.60, not too bad. So we're gonna let the long roll out there. Short's been killing it. 8 days, $142. It missed. Looks like the big drop here, but it still took a lot of really good shorts. So we're actually not in a short right now. I'm trying to think here. I'm gonna go. So I'm not in a short right here. So when you're not in a short, guys, all you have to do is literally come over, and I'm gonna stop my LTC short, and I'm just gonna let that long run. I don't want to go because I have longs that are getting a little bit deeper. Remember, in the ATAs we use a lot of low volume stuff, so even when they're deeper, it's not that bad. So plenty of room to play. But I'm gonna drop off LTC short because we are getting close to our range. And remember, LTC was like up at $1 not that long ago. And then this still leaves us with ETH and Sol for our shorts. So let's take a look at Sol. Oh, I didn't. Did we look at the long? Yeah, we looked at the long. Yeah, the long was. All right. So let's take a look at Sol. Shorts are doing pretty good. $72 in 5 days. Caught some really good shorts. It's in a DCA 1. I think I only allow DCA 1. Yeah, so too soon to know if I want to add a second one. We don't need to rush it. We do have a stop loss in there. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the stop loss there. We've already earned like $300 this month on Sol, because I've had to reset this date a few times. So even if it hits the stop loss and I lose $50-$60, right, we're still net green. So I want to keep this up for that balance. So, but we will put a stop loss in case it goes parabolic on us. And then we have Medic. Matic looks like it might be stuck. Yeah, it actually did really well. It skipped this drop, but it didn't quite skip this drop here. So I'm okay with adding early a DCA to Matic. I really like Matic as a project. It tends to bounce pretty good. So we are low in the range. I probably won't be aggressive with this second DCA. I'm thinking somewhere around here. So let's mark it around 82. And then we just go back to our 1 minute. So now we want to get our second DCA line somewhere around that 82 there. Let's see where 8% puts it. Right there. So let's go 9. The second DCA is probably the most important DCA of all of our ATAs. So you really want to be super protective about it. I think I'm okay with that one right there. So we're just going to go into our Matic long. We'll cancel this. Add alerts. And create. And I'm doing the new alert every time, guys, because anytime I make a change in the actual plan, you have to do a new alert. So go ahead and say it save there. So just to kind of recap, guys, I mean, we're doing well. We're still earning on plenty of pairs. We have a couple that got stuck, right, which I'm not too concerned about yet because we just barely activating DCA2. So far, I'm going to, at the end of the day, run Aave long, ETH short, LTC long, and Matic long, and Sol short. So that'll give me 1, 2, 3, 4 longs to my 2 shorts. And I'm doing that because although you all know me, I think we're going to go down to 25K here shortly. I just don't know that we'll do that over the next few days. So pending any news, right? So, I mean, we're 27.1, 27.2 is a pretty tough range to break, and 26.8 really for sure. So, but we are getting into that range where we could start getting some northern bounces. So we just want to be very cautious on our shorts. So I would probably top heavy my longs now, keep it at least like a 2-to-1 ratio if you're doing that. So yeah, so we'll go ahead and save that. As far as the community goes, that is all I have. We're actually a little bit early today. I will have the room open today. So if you guys want to join in, come on in. I'll send out that information. We'll trade for a couple hours together during the market. So appreciate you guys' time. I'm gonna go ahead and end the call here.